thank you very much for coming here. Tonight is really an international event, and it's the way that we wanted it to be. There are people here from across the world. Last that I looked, that was about 15 different countries. Taiwan, we have folks from Cameroon, we have the ambassador from Benin, we have Mr. Andy Wigmore from Belize. We have folks from Ireland. We have special guests that are here from Taiwan. Neil, you're welcome. Glad to have them all here. But there's a group of people here that I have spent the last 2 years with that are very important to this evening. And they're my cousins and my friends from the United Kingdom. This man to the left of me is Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks was the chairman of Leave.eu. He's a believer in what he did. He put his own financial resources behind it. And if it wasn't for him, none of us would be in this room. Thank you, Aaron. The head of communications, also from Belize, Andy Wigmore. Andy Wigmore has... I would like to say something about Andy. Andy has just been appointed as special counsel to Belize, ambassador. Okay, I totally botched that. He has a very important job from Belize. Lord Ashcroft. Also from the United Kingdom, the sparkling wine that you are drinking is from his facility, and thank you very much for shipping it up here. Appreciate it. So there, folks, there is a book that's outside. These are the bad boys of Brexit. So we have, I have a couple of things I want to say. I know everybody wants to hear Nigel speak, and we're definitely going to do that. But I have asked the governor of Mississippi to join us this evening, Governor Phil Bryant, who is here with us. One of the great things about the jobs that we all do in politics, particularly for me, is the people that, frankly, you didn't think could ever be friends or together somehow find a way. Governor Phil Bryant is from the Mississippi Delta. Nigel Farage is from Kent in the United Kingdom. And I can tell you these two are like brothers. So, with that, Governor Phil Bryant, two-term governor from the state of Mississippi. I know that your lovely wife is here tonight, the First Lady of Mississippi. Your daughter is also here. And we're very grateful to have you, Governor, here tonight. And I'm going to turn the stage over to you.
Well, good evening. Yeah, you got to do a little better than that. I was over there doing my Dangerfield. It's a tough crowd, tough crowd. Come on, you got the bad boys here. So there I am, sitting in the mansion one night. First Lady's with me. She's here somewhere. And we saw the news media saying there's no way that this is going to happen. This Brexit thing is ridiculous. Don't worry. The Prime Minister was saying, well, I'll resign if it passes. Be careful what you say. Now, later on that evening, as we watched the returns come in, and sure enough, it happened. People of Great Britain, and I remind all of my friends here with the BBC, there's a reason they call it Great Britain. It's going to be great again. Yeah. So as I watched that, I turned to her and I said, that was Trump's first victory. And of course, as she normally does, she says, are you crazy? No, watch. This is that movement. This is something that the pollsters and the media and our friends on the left just can't understand. They have no idea. It's sort of like me getting elected governor. How in the world did that happen? Now it begins. So my staff and the guys from breakfast were at the Republican National Convention, and somehow they ran into each other in a restaurant, also known as a bar. And very early in the morning, as they were waiting for their plane. So they came back. I was sleeping because I had to work. You know what they do? They put the old man to bed and then they go out and play. So they came in and said, look, we met these great guys, Nigel Farage and his staff and Andy and all of them. And you know, of course, they had to have an American lawyer to go over there and figure that out. Put all the final points on it. But I said, well, look, invite them to Mississippi. They said, we did. So the next day, the letter went out. And then at the same time, I'm inviting Donald Trump. So here's what I thought. We just get both of them together in the same room. I got a twofer. Oh yeah, and we're going to make this happen. I go on the plane with Donald Trump and I said, guess what? He said, I got Nigel Farage, and he said, great, I want to see him. Will you speak tonight? And I said, oh sure he will. I don't know, let me check with him. Yeah, I'm not sure Nigel's up for that. So we're backstage, and I won't take too much time because you want to hear from Nigel, but I'm back there, and Donald Trump has said, here's where I'm going to introduce him. He called the speechwriter into the green room. I'm standing there. He's put right there. That's when I want Nigel to come on. We go to on the stage. I introduce him, and I'm not sure where Nigel's at. I forgot to exactly find out, or maybe even tell him that he was going to speak. So I'm on the phone with my staff saying, find Nigel, and oh, by the way, tell him he needs to come over here real quick because Donald Trump's about to introduce him. He came running in, literally, and I said, get ready, he's going to introduce you. And he said, I heard that, but I don't believe it. About that time, he said, and my friend Nigel Farage. If you see what the video, I sort of gently put my hand on his back and motioned him forward. Go! And he nailed it. Wow. Look, when you can get 10,000 Mississippians in one room, and they were drinking the Kool-Aid, licking the jar. They were fired up. This man had spoke their language. They understood what he was talking about. A great movement that we saw. Then closely after that was the idea that we were going to elect a man as president of the United States that indeed was going to make America great again. He touched that nerve, that feeling that we all have of hope and pride. Is there anything wrong with being proud of your country and hoping that it will be great? Somehow people have gotten us to believe that's a nefarious motive. What this man has done is show that you can believe in your country, you can do great things, you can encourage them. And if you work hard enough, if you're in the right time at the right place, if you're dedicated, you're pure of heart, you can help change the world. And my friend Nigel Farage and Donald Trump did just that. Welcome to Washington. Let's go find the president and pay him in.
Thank you, Governor Bryant. So Nigel Farage, 2 years ago, I was in Westminster on business, and I was approached by an Englishman who said he was from Belize, an insurance man who said he was from South Africa, and another guy who they called Happy Hippie. And they said, Jerry, we have this referendum here in the UK, and we would like you to help us navigate how to run a referendum. Now, in the United States, we do a lot of these. We have a lot of referendums. In the United Kingdom, they do once every 20 years, Nigel? Once every 20 years. Aaron Banks said to me, Jerry, if you take this position, your life will be forever changed. And he is absolutely right. So let me tell you a couple of things about Nigel Farage. First of all, he was a nominee for Time Magazine Man of the Year. He has worked tirelessly for 25 years for one goal, and that is to dissolve the European Union. Now keep in mind, this is a man who is a member of the European Parliament. He is working to dissolve his paid position. But he did it. And before June 23rd in America, I doubt very much an American knew Brexit. They probably thought it was some form of dance. And Farage might have been a French car. But there are two words now that roll off Americans' tongues: Brexit and Farage. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you a good friend of mine and one of the most devoted politicians that I have ever been around, Nigel Farage.
Well, Jerry, thank you. I was asked by a couple of media organisations, what was the mood like at this party this evening? I said, well, it was a bit of a mixture between joy and disbelief. There is still a level of disbelief, still 7 months later, that we actually won with Brexit. There's still, amongst campaigners, disbelief that Trump has won. And it's time now, please, to end that disbelief and to say, we did it! I spent most of my life in politics being regarded, I suppose, as the patron saint of lost causes. Having to spend several hours every day drowning my sorrows with English pints of beer, because that's all I ever did, if you read the British press. But I really believe this. Through most of my life, what happens in America in terms of social trends or developments, we follow 4 or 5 years later. America is the leader. Now, I would like to think, in my own little way, that what we did with Brexit was the beginning of what is going to turn out to be a global revolution, and that Trump's victory is a part of that. Now, I went to the Republican convention, as Phil mentioned, really for a bit of R&R, just to sort of get away from things. And the absolute truth of the story is that we'd been at the night of the Trump speech, and we'd been out to a bar afterwards to have drinks and a couple of ribs or whatever it was. And we got back to the hotel, it was 4 a.m. And I said to Andy Wigmore, I said, you know what? I've got a really good idea. Why don't we have just one more before we go to bed? At which we bump into the Mississippians, who are flying out at 7 the next morning and who have taken the mature adult decision that going to bed's a complete waste of time. And yeah, the rest is history. I came to Mississippi, I met Phil, I think there was a degree of collusion between the governor and Banks and Co. And before I knew it, Donald Trump was saying to me, now, when I get to this bit in my speech, I'll introduce you. I said, you serious? I said, you mean you're the warm-up act? And I came back, and this is now my 8th visit, I think, back to the States since Phil I came to Mississippi. And I have to say, at times, it wasn't necessarily that easy to be helping the Trump campaign. There were 1 or 2 low moments. But I think what's exciting is 2016 will be looked at in 10 years' time. It'll be looked at in 100 years' time. It'll be looked at as a year of a great pivot, of a great change. A year when nation-state democracy reasserted itself. A year when proper, decent values reasserted themselves. And I think through 2017, much of this revolution will continue across much of what is left of Mr. Juncker's European Union. Now, I will, of course, through 2017 continue as leader of a group in the European Parliament to make my useful, constructive and helpful speeches, and you can follow those as I go. But I'll tell you a funny thing in life is we all fight battles in our lives, and we all, have victories, and we all have failures. The odd thing is that after our victories, normally there isn't really time to celebrate, because we're moving on to the next battle. And what we've got tonight and what we've got tomorrow is actually a chance to reflect, is actually a chance to celebrate those amazing victories of 2016. And I agree with Trump. Brexit was great, but Trump becoming the president of the USA is Brexit plus, plus, plus. And he was right when he called it a movement, but a movement can't exist, a movement can't flourish without a leader. And Trump is the only person I've ever met in my life who makes me feel like an introvert. He is a larger-than-life personality. When he was given the rule book for how you run for president, he tore it up, he threw it out of the window. And I guess when I look back in years to come, perhaps the greatest joy of 2016 was that realization as state after state in the Midwest went red, just to see the faces of those CNN presenters forever. Tomorrow at midday, swearing in as the most powerful man in the world will be this most extraordinary force of nature. Somebody and something that America and global politics has never seen before. Something that may occasionally have a rough edge, but whose instincts are absolutely right, and whose feeling with fellow Americans, ordinary people out there doing their best, is, I think, the closest this country has seen since Ronald Reagan. I believe he's going to make a very good president, and I'm proud to have played my part, not just in Brexit, but in helping this man become the 45th president of the United States of America. And all that is left, folks, is to have fun and have a good party. Thank
you. Once again, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening.